I'm pretty sure you actually can tell what real Sakura is. Today is another 1% episode, Sakura versus Ume. We're going to break down how to tell them apart from flowers to fruits to tattoos. First, let's start with the quiz. You see these two pictures, A and B, right? Which one is real Sakura? A or B? Pick one in your head. 3, 2, 1. The answer is this one is Ume, plum blossom, and this one is real Sakura, cherry blossom. Lady, most people get this first one wrong. Alright, let's keep going. This is quiz 2. Again, we have A and B. Which one do you think is Sakura this time? You can get this one wrong. 3, 2, 1. The answer is both of them are Ume. They are both plum blossoms. Sakura doesn't really look like this. Now the last quiz, this time it's about the fruit. Look at A and B. Which one is the fruit of Sakura? Most people get this one wrong too. 3, 2, 1. The answer is this is Ume, the plum we use for pickles and liquor. And this small one here is the fruit of Sakura. In reality, most of the cherry blossom fruits you've seen in your life, they were almost all Ume. Even in Japan, Sakura fruit is almost never used for foods. If you watch this video until the end, you will master how to tell Sakura and Ume apart. Their flowers, their fruits, their meanings, and their tattoo use. From now on, you are not going to mix them up again. So let's break everything down properly. Konnichiwa, Yoshi desu. Let's start with the basics. Ume means plum blossoms, and Sakura means cherry blossoms. First, Ume is not originally from Japan. It came from China, passed through Korea, and then settled in Japan. It's been part of Japanese culture for around 1500 years. If you look at records from the Heian period, 794 to 1185, Ume was treated as an even more elegant flower than Sakura. Nobles used to write poems under Ume trees, enjoying the fragrance. The flower has a few key features. The petal tips are round, and flowers sit tight on the branch. The fragrance is relatively strong and carries in the air. And Ume blossoms start to bloom at the end of winter, around February to March. Sometimes they bloom while snow is still on the ground. So the keyword for Ume is a flower that blooms after enduring winter. Now Sakura. Sakura is basically national flower in people's heart in Japan. There are hundreds of native cherry varieties, but the one most people imagine is called Somei Yoshino. Sakura also has some clear features. The feather tips split two small points. The petals are thin and light. If you pluck one off, it feels like it'll just flower away in the winter. Most varieties don't have a strong fragrance. They bloom in the middle of spring around March to April, and then in short bursts they fall once like a storm of petals. That's why keywords for Sakura are moment, youth, and impermanence. Now let's talk about the fruits and how they are used in the daily life. This is where people get the most confused. First, fruit of Ume, plum. Korean is 매실. In Japan, we use Ume for umeboshi, pickles, umeshu, plum liqueur, and all kinds of sauce and quick side dishes. Back in the day, warriors carried umeboshi into battles. There were no freeze or ice packs, so they used umeboshi to keep rice from spoiling. If you put an umeboshi right in the middle of white rice, it looks just like Japanese flag. So even now, even though we have fridge and ice packs, Ume has become a symbol of Japan bento culture. It's something you almost never leave out of Japan traditional bento. On the other hand, Sakura fruit is usually from ornamental varieties. The fruit is tiny, has a big pit and doesn't taste that great. So it's almost never a star in Japanese food culture. It's kind of cherry, but honestly, it's like a cherry with almost nothing to eat. When sakura is used in food, it's usually the flower or leaf, salted and used as for aroma. So to sum it up, about 90% of the cherry blossom related foods we actually eat and drink are basically close to ume. And the most famous one is probably Otsuka Ai song's Sakurambo. This Sakurambo means sakura fruit. So why everyone confused about sakura and ume? First, it's a language problem. In English, we use cherry blossom. People have a strong image of cherries and fruit, so they naturally connect cherry blossom, cherry fruit, something that looks like a plum. Second, even make Japanese and Korean can really tell the flowers apart. Third, internet captions make it worse. On Pinterest, so many ume photos are labeled Sakura in Japan. One wrong post gets refused again and again, same as Japanese dragon. And over time, the whole world learned it wrong. Let me tell you a real client story. One day, a foreigner client came in and said, "Yoshi, I want traditional Japanese cherry blossom with a fruit." So I asked them to show me some reference. They showed me a picture of ume flowers. It was 100% ume, so I told them, this is actually not sakura, this is ume plum blossoms. They froze a few seconds and said, "Wait, so all the sakura fruits I saw online were wrong?" I said, "Yeah, probably much." That's the problem. Not only the image, but even the meaning get mixed together. In Japan, ume and sakura carries completely different stories. So from here, I want to talk about them from a tattoo point of view. What kind of person fits sakura and what kind of person fits ume? Let's start with the sakura tattoos. This is Japanese flower tattoo most people already know. The most important thing in sakura design is this: light, scattered, and spreading. A few key points. First, the petal tips should always have a little notch. If you draw them completely around, it starts to look like ume. Second, the branch should be lighter and more flowing. The overall silhouette should feel like a soft cloud of petals. Third, the composition looks best when petals are falling in the wind. Leave some flowers and petals floating away. In Irajmi, we even have a term Sakura Hubuki, which literally means a blizzard of falling sakura petals. There are designs where the background frame, gaku, and everything is made only with sakura and gaku as the main element. Now, let's look at ume tattoos. These days, a lot of Korean artists love using ume blossoms. If you understand it properly, it's amazing motifs. The keyword for ume are winter, endurance, grit. For the flower shape, the petal tips are round and soft. The center has dense stamens that looks cute and full. For the branches, it's nice to make them rough and more twisted. Recently, thick brushstroke-like lines work really well with ume. The flowers cling tightly to the branches. It doesn't feel like everything about the blow away. It feels like a flower that has survived the cold on a bare winter branch. So, if you were the client, how do you choose between sakura and ume? Let's say your life completely crashed once, but you are starting over again from zero. You are coming back from huge failure and trying again. For the kind of story, I recommend ume. It's the flower that beats winter and blossom again. Now, another case, you don't really care about the living safely. For a long time, you want to burn your moment as brightly as you can. You want to play everything on one shot. You live youth, impermanence, and intensity. That's Sakura fits you better. So the Ume keywords are survivor, endurance, and quiet strength. And the Sakura keywords are ephemeral beauty, youth, and impermanence. Most people think Sakura and Ume are just pretty Japanese flowers, but in Japan, these two flowers carry completely different lives. If you watch this far, you are now in the 1% that truly know the difference. If you liked this breakdown, hitting like and subscribe really helps me a lot. Thank you for watching. お疲れ様でした。